Do you guys go, like, I know, you know, like it's the 4 businesses, just keep going, or is there enough time in between? Or how do you guys usually do it?
Well, we had time to go back to our office for a few minutes
Got it.
after this last, well, it was actually, ribbon cutting was at the chamber.
Oh, there you go, perfect. Okay,
Yeah, so that worked out.
what was that one?
Envision Electric.
Okay.
The other one was A1 Automotive, right here on the corner.
Now, are they part of the same A1 Automotive that's in Lincoln? Okay, that's near our Lincoln location, so. On Yankee Hill, where there's like 9 roundabouts and however many blocks. There are more roundabouts.
Someone in Lincoln loves roundabouts.
Oh, I'm always like, by the time I get from one end to being killed the other one. Okay, we just sick now.
There's one. No, 7th Street. 7th Street. It's just a residential. Like you just did yesterday. There's Northern Civic Center, 6th Street.
Yeah, so this week we're all like tired. Just for fun.
Oh, that was here.
Way too much stuff going on here.
I wasn't sure operating
Roundabout for Laser Street. Each church is placed right there.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, she
What's that?
Yep, yes.
well, and I need to tell for her high.
Well, that's
Like, no
And I just told my doctor, I said, the percentage of those
I get so
that is true. I did warn all of my kids, like, don't go by what the outfits say, like, make sure you're looking at those early. And especially, you're right. Well, we were somewhere the other day, a couple weeks ago, and they had forgotten the backup outside. We were in St. Joe, and I said, well, I'll just get her something. They didn't have a big clearance section like Walmart's up here. So I was like, okay, well, if I'm gonna buy this like $16 tri-pack or whatever, I'm like, I don't want it to fit her this instant, so I'll get the next size. And she's like, oh my gosh, it's so big. And we put it on her, only like that much too long. I was like, I think I didn't get the first, you know, the one that we thought was gonna be. And I heard,
Convergence of a lot of roads where, 34
was it Newport or 0 to 3 lane? And that's why then.
Yeah.
and then there's like 5 lanes, and it goes from like 65 to like 25. And that is like right downtown. That is always weird to me. Yeah, and then all of a sudden, and then so, okay, if I'm trying to get
Oh, I saw the
Oak
window
Street,
the other
right,
day.
She has it
or
Does she?
and I'm over here and stuff, and I have to go up just 5 lanes. On Oak Street.
Well, and I suppose if you
That is such a strong
New grants on the
Don't worry about anything on the road street.
4.5 months.
Or if I'm coming off the ramp.
Learn what you guys do, but be there, advocate for you.
Okay, that's good.
But like you're headed south. If you try to like
All right, we're going to get started here. Thanks for joining us here today for our third and final ribbon cutting of the day. We're very excited to celebrate the ribbon cutting and joining of the memberships for the Stewart Chamber for this location. So yeah, we'll start by just kind of going around the circle. Everybody will say their name, kind of where they're from, and then we'll end with Alyssa. So Donna, do you want to kick us off?
I'm Donna with the chamber.
I'm Casey with the chamber.
I'm Anthony Montague with Montague Manufacturing.
Colin Hine with the chamber, and then when we get to you, Alyssa, you just kind of want to tell us the story. I want to make sure I threw that in. So,
Whoever, yeah. Jane Reamer with Memorial Healthcare Systems.
Joni with the chamber.
Oh, sure. I'm Mark Weissenberg. I'm from Crete and I teach here as well. So.
Jack Chotner. I claim that as my family.
Daryl Romakers, parent of a Taekwondo student. This is my wife, Shannon, my son, Aiden.
Katie Klein, live here in Seward.
Alyssa Glant, formerly Chalkner, and this is our, tomorrow she's 7 weeks daughter, Isla, and we did just move to Seward 2 weeks ago, so.
And I'm Susie Chalkner. And Jack and Alyssa are both masters, so they're 6 degrees, working towards their 7th degrees, and they're always very humble and just say their name, so I have to be the one to shout them out. So our whole family has been doing this. It's been 30 years now, and so that's why we wanted to kind of reach out. Like I was telling you, we're doing an open house in Seward or in Lincoln in a couple weeks, and then in the fall in Crete. And with rejoining the chamber, then that worked perfectly here as well, just to kind of celebrate that. So we started back in 1996 in January. Our oldest son, who's now married, 3 kids, lives in Los Angeles. So this has been a few years ago. It was getting picked on, and my husband's answer was I should just get him in martial arts. That's build his confidence. That would be a good thing to do. And so here, 30 years later, this is where we're at. It's become our family's passion. We started then in Crete after Michael started, Jack started, and then Valerie, one of our daughters, is not here. And then I guess I did after that. She was too little at the time. She was like 3, so when she was closer to 4, then she started and just kind of hit the ground running and never stopped at that point. And then poor Nathan, he's our youngest, he was born into it, and so didn't have a whole lot of choice. But so everybody in the family is a 4th degree or higher, but Jack and Alyssa are the most involved with moving forward to mastership. But now Alyssa met her husband through Taekwondo, so that's here at the Seward. So there's a reason we came and opened the Seward location. You're a 3rd degree, right? So,
Yeah.
So there you go. So now I gotta say everyone comes to 3rd degree or higher, right? So we'll just turn that off. Master Truckner, what else do we need to touch on? Can I throw it at you for a little bit?
Sure. You can do the succession of the years from Crete to when we first moved here.
Sure. So in 1996 we started in Crete. In 2005 we purchased the business from our instructor when he moved to Papillion. Yeah. And so we just took over an existing business at that time, but we'd already been teaching and doing all sorts of things in that number of years. And then Alyssa went to college at Doane in Crete to get a business degree. And when she was just getting out of that, we were like, wow, Crete, Nebraska is not big enough for her to just do this as her career, because that's all she wanted to do. So we kept coming up to Seward and kind of bugging the Robothams, who had, they were over, I can't think of the name of the place, but it's by Herpelsheimer's, that little corner spot. What's it called then?
It's Fairlane now.
Okay, it was really cool looking when I drove by the other day. And so this is also not a huge place, but that's an even tinier space. And so we came in there and taught with them for a while, and then took over the business from them. And at the time they had about 12 students, and I don't even think all 12 came over with us at that point, did they? Did we start with 12? I don't think so even. And so, yeah, we just kind of started building it up from there. And then there was a point where we were like, we just can't teach in this small of a location. And Seward is a really hard place to find a place to move to. So at the time, this was about the only place open. So this is where we came, and we've been here since. Then in during COVID, both Crete and Seward were running. And so we flipped all the mats, added some mats, and made stations, and had 9 or 10 of those Wave Masters. So each kiddo had their own station. And actually, that was after she taught by Zoom for quite a while too, so that was all crazy.
And
So
our
anyway,
retention rate at that time was like 95%.
yeah, we kept almost everybody, which was good.
My son was one of those.
Well, we tried to do, so besides classes, we tried to do like, we would have show and share, or she taught them how to make protein balls on one time. I used to be an art teacher, so I taught them how to draw dragons, and so we try to just engage the kids during that time. So that was weird. And we couldn't test in here, so one time they sent the videos of their testing in, and then when they got their belt, Master Truckner dressed up as Poe. We happened to have a Poe costume, and then they would drive through and get their belt. And then one time it was in the park, so we just had to kind of be creative during that time. And then in 21, we decided to start looking for a location in Lincoln, because then that's when we again decided, wow, they're both going towards their mastership. 2 towns of 7,000 are not going to produce the number of students that we need for a career for her. And that took us like 9 or 10 months to find a location at that point. And then we got that started, and yeah, so that's since 22 we've been there. So, trying to think if there's anything else. I guess one of the main reasons, I don't know if you see around the room the 6 banners that are up, and we have those up at all 3 of our locations. That's really the reason we do that. That's why it's our family's passion. It's all about the life skills and the building confidence in kids and in families. And we do have students in Crete and Seward from ages 5 and up, and then in Lincoln 4 and up, just because we have enough students there, we can have a Tiger program for littles separate. But yeah, we can take students clear on up to, well, 5th or 6th degree.
I'm not sure I like how you pointed at me.
No, we can
The old
take
guys
students to
there.
6th degree. So, I'm sure I'm forgetting things, Jack. I told you I was going to do that. What else you'd like me to touch on? So, one of the things that we like to do is give back to the community. We've done a few of these in Lincoln recently, but we are going to do one on June 6th. That's a Saturday morning, and it's a women's and teen self-defense. It's $20 per person, but we turn around and just write a check, and so we are partnering with CASA, and so we'll just give them all of the money. We are limiting this one to 40, which would actually be really tight, but just because of space. And we can always do that again, or if there's another nonprofit that you guys ever know of, that's something that's, again, one of our passions is to be able to do that and teach people. And it's not so much in 2 hours you're not going to teach them everything there is to know. So a lot of what they will do for those kids is, or ladies, is safety awareness, not just 2 hours of beating up, but we do get the bags out, so they do get to punch. So I'll make sure you get those before you leave. There's other ideas for how we can help with fundraising for people, so I'll get all of that stuff to you guys too.
We do
before you
birthday
leave.
parties.
What's that? Yep, we do birthday parties as well. So that's all real structured but fun at the same time, and so that's something that we do. And I don't know, I came with my notes.
Confidence clinics.
Yes, we do that as well. So the confidence clinics are, we've even gone into the schools. So like in Lincoln, we've gone into several of the elementaries. The one we've been to 3 times now is Roper Elementary. It's the biggest elementary in Nebraska. And she gets a grade at a time in their gym and runs like a 45-minute session with them. And so we call them confidence clinics, and we teach them a few basics, but it's a lot just about, holding your chin up high and how you should look and act, and it's all real upbeat. And she did it 8 months pregnant this last time. So.
How many students ran through?
Say that again.
How many students ran through that day?
Well, it would have been about 875 students in one day that she managed to teach. So yeah. So that's something too. It's actually been more difficult for us to get into some of these, like Milford, Crete, Seward. But if you guys ever hear of something, or it doesn't even have to be the school, but again, that's something we can do. And years back, we did a safety day here in Lincoln too, in St. John's parking lot, and involved all sorts of the community in a safety day. So I've always got ideas. Sometimes it's just hard to do all of them.
St. John does the Summer Horizons. Have you ever been involved with that?
I'll put you on that. She goes to that church, and see, now that she's in Seward, I'm going to be like, all things Seward.
There we go,
You can take care of for me.
So that might be something to ask. If not this year, then maybe
Yeah,
next year.
absolutely. Well, we brought Aiden. He is from our Lincoln location. He is on Team Velocity, which is our demonstration team. He also competes a lot. And so he's gonna do a couple of different forms for you real quick, just so you can kind of see the difference, the gamut of what we're doing. Okay, let's start with traditional form. Okay, that'd be fantastic. That's good. So, because you get the idea, like, he's running through his mind because this is a preset form, like he is not making that up. And so they move along pretty quickly, so they're just getting into this newer form. So when he'd go compete at a tournament, well, they wouldn't all be doing the same form, but they're all doing whichever form they're doing, it's preset. So those judges know exactly what the next move is and they're judging them on that. Then, do you want to do bow staff? Okay. Yeah. So, he is a bow staff person. So
Is awesome with this.
yeah. So this is what he got first in his spring nationals.
Yes.
Correct? Yeah, so he drove to St. Louis, Missouri, and so that's a lot of competition. And whenever you're ready, sir, I'll just keep chatting him. He got first place with this in his spring. So when they compete, it's going to be somebody of like age and like belt. Okay, so he competes 11 and 12-year-olds, and then it depends on the tournament. How big of a range that would be. A smaller tournament might be a bigger range of belts, but spring nationals, they're able to keep that as a tighter range. Okay, two more he's gonna do. Does he do both extremes? Hey, there you
Okay,
go.
all right. We'll get Tiger.
Okay.
So you want to explain the difference between, before you start, they were creating the screen.
Yeah. So where she said traditionals like set forms are creative and extreme material. It is like it says creative, so they get to make up like their own forms. They can put it to music. So like today he's not doing it with his music, but he has set music he does it to. So it's kind of the flashier like Power Ranger type stuff. And in the X-Men they can incorporate gymnastics as well as like tossing of the weapons even. So this one I think is creative forms, right, Aiden?
Yeah.
Okay.
I should have sang for him. It's okay.
It's all right. Just go for the big finish.
Yeah, just do the tail end, that's fine. There you go. You want to do the extreme yet? And then he'll do extreme weapons. So he's bow stuff again and the checks. Okay. So double check. Once students join leadership, which is then what makes them eligible for demo team, so it's an extra class they take. One of the first things Mastermind usually has them do is get that second weapon so they can start doing doubles. So talk about eye-hand coordination. Go ahead whenever you're ready, sir.
That'll happen.
starts, it's magneted together, and then partway through she pulls it apart, and it's two swords, and she'll toss them in the air and catch them in the forward. So it's pretty cool. I always tell people the sky's the limit of what you can do when it comes to competition or demo team. Uh-oh. So do you guys have questions? I know we just threw a lot at you all at once.
How many students do you have?
So overall, between the three schools, we have about 160. Seward's a little lower right now, and so that's part of why we just really wanted to be able to build Seward back up, and you know, kind of where you put your focus is where things happen. And we've spent a lot of time and effort getting the Lincoln School up and running. The big difference is, you know, in Crete and Seward, if somebody wants to join martial arts, you know, well, we're not the only one in Seward now, but the only Taekwondo, and so people tend to know you're there. But in Lincoln, 5 minutes from us that way, 5 minutes from us that way, 10 minutes that way, you know, there's other, so you have to, they need to understand the difference between and why we're better, and you know, that kind of a thing. So yeah.
What's the earliest somebody can join?
So typically age 5, and in Lincoln we will take them at 4 because we have 4 and 5-year-old Tiger class that's aimed. I tell people it's like the difference between preschool and grade school is they just stay a white belt. In fact, we still have the belts up here, even though we don't run a separate ATA Tigers program up here. If we have 5-year-olds come in, we typically actually have them go through Tiger belts until they're 6. So that's a lot more about following directions, learning the basics, you know, all of that. Then when they transition into what's called martial arts kids or the beginners class, then hopefully they can handle that class. It's a little bit longer and a lot more kids, and it moves a little bit faster, and they're learning a half a form and all the little stars you see out there. That's because it's, you know, you've probably seen in movies or whatnot, you know, it's all very, everyone lines up and it's all very orderly, and so it's really good for kids maybe with some focus or attention kinds of things, you know, they're focusing by the end of class, well, or hopefully, right? That's the goal.
Yeah, very cool, very impressive.
Yeah, thank you. Well, we're really happy you guys could come. Do you want, or we need to take a picture, is that?
Yes,
Should
we
we
need
do
to
that
have a
first
ribbon.
before we do? Oh, we need to do that too.
Yes,
Just
well,
don't let me forget to give you guys this.
Absolutely, yeah, so we can line up kind of wherever you think would be good for the picture, Joni.
Well, I know we don't want to go on the mats. I remember that part.
Do you want,
Do you want it, I mean, we can do it
Yeah.
outside with the logo.
do you want this
or
in
we
the
can do
background,
it-
Jack, or we can just
Whatever
move
you want to do.
Let's just move the chairs and go over here, it's fine.
That's cool.
Chairs and this way, will
Yeah,
this work?
yeah, that will work.
I'll say, and everybody can jump in the picture.
Absolutely.
Is that fine?
Yeah, that, we'll squeeze in. What you guys
We're gonna wait here and let you guys
Yep,
I
Aiden.
say, you get screwed in, we can kind of stagger it a little bit.
Yep, come on in, so everybody's in the picture.
Yeah, you're in here too.
Yep, we might have to.
celebrate with us.
Okay.
Rose?
I think I can get everybody in there. Yes, I can. So, all right, when we have this, we'll do the fancy one first, where you just kind of hold it and we'll take the nice
Okay.
picture, and then I'll count you down 3, 2, 1, and then you can cut it. So, all right. Oh, let's
Is
I
that
can
in
see
the
the
way
little
of the
one
baby?
there. There we go. All right, here we go. We'll do the nice one. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
She slept through the ribbon cutting. Okay, let me get over here and I'll give you guys these different things.
Our scissors aren't quite a sword, but
They are
got them
weapons.
sharpened, so they do cut.
One thing she didn't mention, so like we do weapons in like all the classes. We also do boards. So like in classes we do breakable boards. For, like at our demos we do wood boards. So like 4th of July we always perform at 1st and Seward Street at 1 o'clock. So you'll see like board breaks, wood ones there. Yes.
Yeah, while we're on it's always 1 o'clock on July 4th. It's so hot because we usually have black shirts on and
I think the first couple of years we did like our performances like 2 or 3 times within the hour, and we're like, yep, nope, one and done. That's it. That's all.
I think the wonder we had to kneel on boards, I think.
Yeah, it was so
The
hot.
bricks were so hot.